Greetings, everybody. How are you? I am Sri Master Gano Grills for Galighticus.com. Who's with me tonight? All right. Hey, Beck Breezy, what's going on? So, it's Saturday night, and I wanted to do a live. Thanks, Beck Breezy. Appreciate that. 23 of you already. That's pretty quick. So, Natasha Holden, Angel Rose, Q the God, Officer Stephanie Parker. How are you? Charles Lee, how you doing, sir? We missed you at the last AGA. Amun Heh. Elizabeth Garden, Courtney Curry. Hey, Courtney, how you been? Wallace Scales, Bronson Nichols, Jeffrey Raymond, Officer Jeffrey Raymond, how are you? And congratulations to Daphne Reed and Jeffrey Raymond. They have been promoted to being officers in Galacticus, and that means that they don't pay for seminars anymore, and they could bring a non-Galactican as a guest to all of the seminars, which is fantastic. Lamar Lee, how are you? Bang Bang BX. Nicholas Williams, Tyron Naisha, how are you? Mose, Electric Wizard, and that's Officer Thomas Hadnot, by the way. Stephanie Murat, IG, how's it going? Yeah, Kendra Barnes, how are you, Kendra? So, here we are on a Saturday night, and I want to answer some of your questions. And first, I want to thank everyone who attended the Angels, Gods, and Altars seminar. It will be the 7th time that we've presented that seminar. We may wait another year before we do that again, if we do it again. And by the way, the seminar had about 45% new information that has not ever been heard before or that I have taught before. It was we had a good time exploring some of the new things that were revealed and shared for the first time. So hope you guys enjoyed it. We had some very interesting experiences. My mom came out. Thanks, Mom, for coming. And wow, I look kind of crazy. I'm very disheveled, guys. So, it's not about vanity, right? So I hope that you guys can excuse my bushiness, if you will. And we did the seminar in New Jersey, right next to the Budweiser plant. So it was good to be local for a change. And I want to thank my chain of command and all of my officers. You guys did a really good job. Thank you so much for your service and your contribution to helping this movement and helping everything. Whenever we do a seminar, it takes a lot of planning and it takes a lot of cooperation, and it takes all of us to be on the same page in order to deliver the seminar as smoothly as possible. Smoothly is very, very challenging sometimes. We had people that came from London, from the islands, from Toronto, and some other people that were very, very quiet, but I saw you all and I felt your energy there. I also brought in one of the new gods that a lot of people don't know anything about. His name is Yamantaka, and I brought him as a guest. His statue observed and connected with everyone in the audience who was present, which brings me to my next point. I made a promise to help some of you with the sexualization that happens to you sometimes at night. And some of those energies are known to be incubus and succubus. They were actually quite a few more titles and quite a few more entities that are capable of feeding off of your sexual energy and doing things to you that you may not really like. And it's important for people to have some kind of buffer, separation, and spiritual protection against that. So, what has happened is that, whenever we do a seminar like Angels, Gods, and Altars, that seminar is always met with a polar opposition, an opposite current. Magically and strangely, there were floods, there were delayed and canceled flights, there was a blackout, and it stopped people dead in their tracks from being able to attend this seminar. One of the reasons why that happens is a few. It's because people don't make their reservations in time. They wait until the last minute. And sometimes that will impede you and impair you from getting, you need to lock in early. You don't need to do and come to a seminar like this by the seat of your pants. It's very important that you make the proper accommodations for yourself and reservations as soon as possible. Exercise yourself. Don't wait to the last minute, because you will get caught up in some of the quagmires that always present itself whenever Galighticus has a seminar. Whenever we have a seminar of this magnitude, you guys got quite a bit of information that will change your life. If you apply 10% of what you've learned in this particular seminar, your life will change for the better. You also got a brand new word of power that will help you to remember your dreams, aka recordings, or PKA, right? Preferably known as recordings. We went through cohabitation. We went through what the gods are, what they're made of, why are they indestructible, how can they be destroyed. We talked about what makes a god a god. We went deep into detail about the angels, and we talked about the altar and why it's such an essential part and should be a powerful part of your life, how to use it to the best of your ability and how to get the most out of it. And Patricia Hall, one of my beloved students, thank you so much for this shirt. She gave this and another shirt to me as a gift. Beautiful gift. Thank you for all of the gifts, by the way. And I appreciate all of them. Someone gave me a bag of oranges. Thank you. I'm grateful. And this this AGA seminar, the people who were lucky enough to attend have teachings directly from Lord Thoth himself. So we're going to get into how that's possible, why that is, and what size is this shirt. I believe it's extra large, XL is the size of the shirt. Wink, wink. Right? So the gift that I promised everyone who would attend this particular seminar is to help people stop being robbed and transgressed upon with the incubus, succubus, and all of the other entities that, guys, let's get the thumbs up on this. Yes. Stop some of the trafficking that happens. Which brings about another topic. There were certain people, and I made it very clear. I uploaded a picture. Now, this picture has a certain energetic stamp on it that I've explained on the Facebook post of how to use the energy of this picture to stop the succubus. The caveat is that it was intended for the people who came to the seminar. Now, I never really made a judgment as to if people could freely utilize this, but the reason that I brought the statue of Yamantaka to this particular seminar is so that anyone who wanted to be introduced to him, even though they weren't aware that he was even in the room, that he can see the disturbances that some people have. And he was willing to be of service because I asked him to. And Yamantika is a very powerful god. And, when people sit back on Facebook and they just read all the posts and soak in all the knowledge and they never come to a seminar, yes, there were people who intended on coming to the seminar that didn't make it. There's some people that actually transacted to be there. I don't mind you guys using this particular ritual. I don't mind my students who are officially enrolled in the Galacticus Studentship Program of Ascension. I don't mind you guys using it. I wanted to leave the question up to you, the audience. Do you think it's fair for people who have come from around the world, who have made whatever provisions, adjustments, and accommodations that they needed to make in order to be present physically at the Angels, Gods, and Altars seminar? Do you think it's fair that other people who were just sitting back, relaxing on Facebook, who have no intention on really taking a step forward the same way you guys did, to have the benefit of this particular ritual? Do you think it's fair for those people to just say, okay, well, yeah, I'm going to take that. Thank you, Sri Master. And, they go about their business and, they'll just take. And that's fine. They might come to a seminar once in a blue moon. But, what do you guys think? So I poll the audience. And if you guys go to the Facebook group, if you're not a member of our Facebook group, take a minute and join it. And we have lots of great testimonies and stories, and people are really gregarious at sharing a lot of the wonderful things that happen. And it's a great way to supplement your spiritual education. And I ask the populace of the Galighticus Facebook group if they think it's fair. And there are quite a few people that do not think it's fair for them to have made whatever they need to make, come to the seminar. And, some people really had to jump through hurdles. And some people, again, they just, don't care about that as long as they get what they want to get. And, if that's your choice, that's fine too. There were other people that feel, and I can validate this, that the ritual will not work as well for you if you were not present. And that is true. You will have probably a small fragment of success if you do take it, do what you will and see how it works for you. But ultimately, again, if you go to the store and you buy a loaf of bread, that's one thing. But if you go to the store and you steal it, that's karma on you. If you beguile someone out of something that you have not reciprocally exchanged for, that also is a different kind of result that you will not fully get the benefit for. So it's something that I would like for you guys to give more consideration to, because ultimately it affects you, right? Something to think about. So our first question, and by the way, let me say this too. Oh my goodness, I see people's comments are being deleted. Oh my, oh well, gotta be careful. People are fast on the trigger. The first question comes from Herman Brown. And by the way, Herman Brown, I don't mind if you utilize the actual ritual that comes with it, because I know that you have already proven yourself by coming all the way from London. I don't mind Dean St. Clair if you utilize the ritual. I do not mind Marsha Loretta, how you doing, if you utilize the ritual. I know where your heart is at. I know you're a hardworking parent, and for whatever reason you weren't able to make it. I don't mind if you guys used a particular ritual on this go around. If you really, really need it, go for it. And I will ask Yamantika to give you guys that consideration so that you will have the benefit of its power. Okay? So, Herman Brown, all the way from the UK, he asks, can we use the sequence of power or words of power to effect positive change to help the people in West Papua New Guinea? as they are under constant occupation by the Indonesian authorities and they are being systemically exterminated. Is that possible, Sri Master Gano Grills? Yes, Herman Brown, and all of you who are wondering how you can help affect change. It is possible for you to elicit, project, and pray for words of power and distribute, disseminate, and project that particular energy to a landmass, a group of people, an event, yourself, and others. That's why you have it. You can experiment with the power of these particular words and sequences. And the more you utilize it for something outside of yourself or a cause, the more powerful it actually becomes. So feel free. If you possess a group of words of power that can be used to help the people in Papua New Guinea, Haiti, Dominican Republic, or anywhere in the world where it's necessary, go for it. Do your thing. And I hope that answers your question, Herman. Right? Guys, let's get the thumbs up. Can we get the thumbs up? Can we get the thumbs up? That'll help to expose the video to more people who will catch up to this after it has aired. Okay? I'm going to put this to the side and I'm going to answer another question. So, Emil Burgess asks a question. He says, are you still in the process of fully becoming Lord Thoth? What happens to the world when that happens? Interesting question, Emil. Lucy Palin says to Emil, she says, Sri Master is fully Lord Thoth. If you look really close on his videos and at the seminars, you see his eyes change colors. He changes right before our eyes. At the AGA seminar last weekend, for a brief second, I took off my glasses and oh man, I saw a beak in what looked like Obatala. Like Sri Master was morphing to Lord Thoth and Obatala. My heart started beating so fast. LOL. Heart. Well, Lucy Palin and Emil, one of the things that I would say is that I want to answer Emil's question first. I am fully him, but it's not in the way that you would think. Whenever I conduct a seminar and people ask me questions, it is not Sri Master Gano Grills. Sri Master Gano Grills is the locality of who my physical body is. And when Lord Thoth walked the face of the earth as Tsuhuti and other beings who I've not really discussed yet, this is exactly what and who he looked like. And I'm able to access the intelligence when necessary. And I utilize it to conduct the seminars and answer the questions that people may have about their dreams and their destiny and certain other things that occur. That's been proven over the 50 or so seminars that we've done over the past 5 years. It's not an ability that my human part would have. So we are the same being, and it's a beautiful thing. So what's happening to the world as a result is that there is a level of disclosure, there is a level of heightened spiritual consciousness and evolution that is happening as a result of his presence being on the planet at the moment. And as for you, Lucy Palin, you are a very talented spiritual woman who was initiated in certain things for many of your lifetimes, actually, along with your husband, LJ. How you doing, LJ? And you have cultivated your very interesting abilities over a period of time. So you have the ability to see things that a lot of other people cannot. There are a lot of people that may see my true form only in their dreams or sometimes in their visions, but you have to have somewhat of an active third eye, and heightened abilities from 7 to 14 in order to see my true form. And that's what explains that. All right. So I hope that answers your question, Amiel. I'm going to retire this. And I'm going to answer another question that comes from Daryl Barber. Daryl Barber, Be Disciple, on Facebook. And he asks, what is your relationship to Saint Germain? Well, it's an interesting 360. And Saint Germain was a disciple of different incarnations of Tahuti or Lord Thoth. Saint Germain was an avid student and adept. He started out on many different levels, but he learned alchemy. He became very, very astute with the energy of the teachings and the powers that he got from Lord Thoth in his several incarnations with him. How he relates to Sri Master Gano Grills was he was the very first exalted being that consciously came from behind the veil. Shango was really more of the first, but Saint Germain consciously basically tagged me and let me know that the spiritual world wants you to awaken and help awaken humanity. He was the very first one that consciously tagged me and basically identified me. He didn't tell me a lot of the other things that I came to know later, because I think that it would have been a little too overwhelming. So they allowed certain things. They didn't tell me all of those things at once. It was over a series of years that I come to understand that. And Saint Germain and Lord Thoth, he really loves Lord Thoth very much. And they've had several lifetimes together. So that's the connection. Hope that answers your question. Star Kiel Brown. Next question from Facebook. Star Kiel Brown asks, after solarizing words of power and sequence of power, are their powers as effective when speaking them in our minds, or must they be spoken out loud? That's a really good question, Starkill. And they're always more powerful if you speak them out loud. If you walk up to someone and you greet them in your mind's eye or telepathically, it's not going to be as powerful as saying, hello, how are you doing? Namaste, Anku Jab Seneb, Satnam, because they won't hear you. Most people have a turned off ability to receive telepathic communication. It is also the same that when we speak things into existence, the energy of the ethers responds to the intonation of the sequence of power and words of power more favorably than it being telegraphically or telepathically transmitted through your mind out into the ethers. Hope that makes sense, Starkill. Excellent question, by the way. So, another question by beloved Julia Minto. How are you, beloved? Julia Minto, one of my students, and she's ready to graduate soon. Right, Julia? Julia asks, why do I have the most incredible people come to me, mostly while I pray? Well, and she gives a list of Frederick Douglass, Haile Selassie, Martin Luther King, Benjamin Franklin, John F. Kennedy, Robert Kennedy, Adolf Hitler, Lena Horne, Michael Jackson, Malcolm X, Steve Jobs, Joan of Arc, Betty Davis, Queen Elizabeth II, Queen Victoria, Lady Diana, Prince Charles, President Obama, Mrs. Obama. Thank you. Well, Julia, like I've said before, you are a very talented seer. You are also a herald. You are the official first herald for Galighticus. One of the reasons why you're seeing this, and by the way, you did leave Michael Jackson out. You're seeing these people because you are a cross-dimensional seer. You have the ability to not only look across the dimensions, but also look through the parallel lines of your existences. You've connected with every single one of these people. You've had a connection and a lifetime with all of these people. And some of these people, most of these people are on the other side of the veil, and they remembered you. They come back to visit. The same way that you just went back to London to visit some of your friends that you grew up with and some of your family. But what happens when you want to visit someone who is passed on? You have to go to the spiritual world. What happens when you have your car in the spiritual world and you were very fond of someone who is still in a live stream at the moment? There are ways that you can contact them, see them, and give them guidance and come through their dreams and check them out. They realize that you are a herald to a very powerful movement. They can see you for who you really are. They know the gifts and the talents that you have built over a series of lifetimes. They also know that you have the ability to receive and be a receiver of messages so that you can connect the dots. And when will you honor that fully, Julia? Hope that answers your question. All right. So another question comes from Daryl Barber. And this is another part of your question. A while ago, on the blue light video over New York City, actually it was Queens, with Archangel Michael, you mentioned switching gears in your consciousness to the Lord Thoth side of things. Can you explain this sensation and some of the process level of focus that lead you to be able to achieve this, to do this at will? I seem to be able to relate to this, but without the full understanding. That's an interesting question. And what happens is that I would say almost 10 years ago, Lord Thoth, unbeknownst to me at the time, came to me through a conversation, through a very close friend of mine, and he gave me a processor that links his intelligence to the circuitry of my brain. And what happens is that I am able to have gnosis that belongs to him, where I can answer the questions. It's not, it's a process, but it's something that I've had to learn to turn on like a faucet. It is very uncomfortable to be able to walk around with the equations of his consciousness in my head, because sometimes I have to, not sometimes, but every time I speak, I have to measure the things that I communicate and say, because some of the things are out of time. And when I say that, there are things that I constantly have to be mindful of. It's not time for me to teach that, or I have to watch someone's eyes when I'm articulating certain things. This is the reason why I do not stream seminars, and I demand that people come to the seminars in person, because I have to be able to gauge the fragility of how people are receiving the data that Lord Thoth teaches. It is not Sri Master Gano Grills that conducts the seminars. It is Lord Thoth, and he's very strict. He doesn't play. And there are people that see the difference between the two. So it is Lord Thoth that is answering your questions. He is the one that is conducting the arrangement of dispatching the information. And he is also the one that cuts the cords. He is also the one that does the divine inscription. He is the one that you are bringing the gifts to, not Sri Master Gano Grills. So when you bring gifts, you're actually making an offering directly to him. When you put a picture of this container on your altar, you're honoring the energy of Lord Thoth. What it feels like to me, it's something that I am still getting used to. And it's a very humbling experience. So I must always stay truthful, humble, grateful, and pure in order to have and continue the access to the highest form of myself. It's a self-correcting mechanism that humility seems to be able to quantify and adjust necessarily. And a lot of times I don't dig into the equations that my mind is inside of, but it's kind of cool to be able to have a question and automatically have it answered. It's also kind of sad because sometimes I just want to share so much of these things that I have access to, and I do my best to put it into palatable, understandable equations, metaphors, axioms, and teachings so that it can be digested, but moreover, it can be utilized, executed, and instituted in the lives of people that can utilize it the most. So I hope that answers your question. All right. We're going to move on to the next question, which comes from Jay Brock from Facebook. And Jay Brock asks, what is the importance of activating your Merkaba? Well, as I've said before, Jay Brock, the Merkaba is a hidden, dormant form that lies inside of the human consciousness in the way that the butterfly or the moth is a hidden form inside of the caterpillar. The tree is a dormant form that is inside of the acorn. The human, full-grown adult, is a hidden form that is inside of the sperm, or the egg, or the protozoa, or the gene strand. The power of the atom is inside of the quark. The Big Bang already had the universe as a hidden form inside of its equation before it was expressed. So one of the things that I've come to teach and help humanity with is how to get some of these hidden forms out of the dormancy of your corporeal body. And there are certain ways in which that can be done. So the very next seminar that we are going to do for the second time is called the Golden Chariot. That seminar will only be done once a year because it's that powerful. Up to 12 solar observatories. And some will say, oh no, it was only 8. They were closed down at the same time we gave the Golden Chariot for the first time. It was not a coincidence. And what I can say comfortably is that the importance of humans learning to activate their Merkaba, by me specifically, is that there is an importance that the human form is going to eventually start to become extinct. That's why genocides are happening. Eugenics. Genocide, the order of genocide is already on its way. The killing machine has already been enacted. The metal that is being sprayed in your chemtrails, the genetically modified foods, are already here to kill you. The BPH and all of the other things that you have to contend with, the brain damage, the mind control, are working to extinct the current Homo sapien form to make way for another kind of being. You guys have already started to see this in your lifetime. And if you don't consciously pursue actively your own Merkaba, you will die the second death. And that's something that even ghosts do not want to experience. So it is your divine right to have an activated Kundalini, to have a third eye, to discover your divine parents, to really sovereignly proclaim, pursue, achieve, and activate the divine aspect of who you are. But there are certain ways that you have to initiate that. And Ascension is one of the programs I've come to bring back to this world, as is the Golden Chariot, as well as enlightenment. Those are three different ways for you to free yourself from the bondage of the unlimited human life and death cycle. But it's something that you have to choose consciously. I cannot make you do it. Society cannot make you do it. Society will say that, you know, you don't need to do anything. When you're dead, you're done, and that's it. That's not necessarily true. So the importance of activating or learning, it's not something you can do on your own. It is not possible. It's something that has to be taught consciously from a certain kind of being. And by doing so, you're making a very clear proclamation that you are no longer here to be tampered with, controlled, manipulated, and fed upon. I gave an example of someone being in a fight. If someone is beating you up and you don't block those punches or move out of the way or dodge, weave, and, do whatever you need to do to protect yourself, you deserve to be hurt. If you are living on this planet and you are not doing all that you can to protect yourself from the constant feeding frenzy that you are supplying with your own ignorance, you deserve to die unconsciously and otherwise. Doesn't that make sense? So when you come to the Golden Chariot seminar, you're making a very clear statement that you're ready. You're ready to have what divinely belongs to you. If I give you a check for a certain amount, that puts a smile on your face, and you don't catalyze that check by cashing it, it only represents the energy of something that you have decided not to transact. And it's your right to do so. But only a crazy, eccentric, imbecile would do that. Doesn't that make sense? So all of you have a representation of the metaphor of a check that belongs to you. And all you need to do is transact it. And how do you do that? Well, I think you guys know already. All right? So I hope that answers your question, J. Brock. Right? And I do believe that we've answered a good amount of questions. I'm going to be happy to pop up on you guys again and give you some more answers, because there were quite a few questions. You guys can keep the questions rolling, and I'd like to get to some of them that make sense to answer. All right? I will see you guys very soon. And also, the discount that we are offering for the Golden Chariot Seminar, that's going to be available until, let's keep it going till Monday at midnight. All right? We're going to have that discount. After that, it's going to go back to normal. I also wanted to say, and I needed to speak about this, I almost forgot. The Golden Chariot is going to take place on Saturday and Sunday. There is an optional empowerment day that will happen on Friday, September the 6th. Friday, September the 6th, there will be an optional empowerment day that we will be offering 10 separate empowerments that will give you a greater ability to harness and activate and ignite the power of your own hidden form. You don't have to do it. The seminar is not contingent upon you doing it, but there are some people that want to have the ancillary benefit of what we're offering. So if you want to come through on Friday and start the empowerment, that is a separate transaction. But the seminar will take place on Saturday and Sunday. And there will also be empowerments available that will be part of that particular seminar. There will be sequence of power, which means that I will have to activate your third eye. And I also will be cutting cords during that seminar. And there's going to be a lot of pleasant and wonderful surprises and new things that we're going to make available for the next Golden Chariot. If you came to the Golden Chariot last year, feel free to attend again or not. And this seminar is going to be in Denver, Colorado. So it's a little more pricey because the hotel is not a cheap hotel, but it's worth it. And sometimes when we go to Hawaii, when we go to Denmark and Copenhagen, or we go to other places where it's more expensive to live, we have to acclimate and adjust to the societal norms. This is no different. So I want you guys to plan to be there. Don't wait to the last minute. Make it a point to be there. And this will be probably one of the most powerful things that you can do to evolve yourself. It's your responsibility. It's your choice of really taking something that already belongs to you, but claiming it, catalyzing it. I hope that makes sense, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys will share this video for as long as it's up. Don't forget to put the thumbs up. Share this video. If you're not part of our Facebook group, join Facebook and join us. If you're not part of our Instagram page, take a moment to join us there and share the videos. And I'll see you guys soon. I am Sri Master Gano Grills. It's been a pleasure speaking with you guys. I hope you have a great night. I hope to see each and every one of you in your dreams tonight. And I hope that you have the clarity and the blessings that you deserve and that you're worthy of. You are special. And I love each and every one of you. Have a great night.